Okay, the second puzzle for today relates to this slightly odd thing here, which has got pegs, and there are little marbles dropping in, and they're working their way down. Every time they hit the peg, they either go left or they go right, and we're assuming they do that left or right equally often. So they just as many times go left as they do right. When they get down to the bottom, they fall into one of 7 buckets. Okay, so either they end up down here or in this one, this one, this one. What I'm interested in is what are the chances of ending up in these different buckets. Now I can speed this up just a little bit, and we should begin to see that definitely it is more likely to end up in the middle bucket here than it is out at the ends. So I want you to explore on a 6-layer version of this thing on the Galton board. What are the probabilities of ending up in different places on the board? Clearly, this is very unlikely. Even out here is pretty unlikely. I'm going to get you to work your way up. So instead of starting with 6, I would encourage you to start with a smaller one, for example, 3, because it's going to make thinking about it a little bit easier. And actually, I'm going to show you an example of how to do that on paper, and then you might be able to get going for yourself. So, on the paper, I'm going to draw my little machine, and actually I'm going to draw those buckets where we finish up. So we either end up here, we end up here, or we end up here. Now to get down through the machine, we come in, we can go left, and we end up in this bucket here. Or we might go left and then right, in which case we end up in the middle bucket. Or we could go right and then left, which would also end us up in the middle bucket. Or we can go right and then right, which has ended up here. So we've got right and right. Here we've got left and right, or right and left. And here we've got left and left. So we can see there are 4 possible routes through our machine. One of them ends up here. So the probability of ending up in this bucket here is 1 out of 4. Probability of ending up in the middle is equal to 2 out of 4, because there's 2 ways to get there, ways to get through the board. And the probability of ending up over here is 1 out of 4 again. So that gives us a sense of what's going on. 1 out of every 4 balls that drops through should end up here, 2 out of every 4 should end up here, and 1 out of every 4 should end up over here. Now, you will want to extend that, so your next task is to extend that and think what happens if we've got three layers, and in that case you will have 4 buckets like that. So an example is it could come down here, down there, and down there. So going left, right, right would end us up over here. Going left, left, left would end us up over here. So we want to record all the different ways there are to get to each of these, and then we can give our probabilities. What I would like to know, and this will take a bit of investigating, what are our probabilities for getting to the bottom of our 6th level one? Now, be careful when you draw your 6th level one, because you need 6 levels or pegs like this, and 7 buckets at the bottom. Now, I would strongly encourage you to do the smaller one first and see if you can spot any patterns that could help us along the way. So there's our smaller one. Sorry, there's our big one. But if you explore your smaller ones, you should get some patterns that can help us with the big one. Have a go, see how you get on, and post any solutions that you get somewhere in the channel. It would be interesting to see your working later on. Enjoy, and I will put the end up at some point after the lesson is finished, and you can see how you've got on, and it compares to what I put up as the answers.